was when she was first displayed at the New York Toy Fair. 3. There actually aren't 57 varieties of Heinz ketchup, and never were. Company founder H.J. Heinz thought his product should have a number, and he liked 57. 4. One of President John Tyler's grandsons is still alive today, and he was born in 1790. How is this possible? President Tyler, the 10th US president, was 63 when his son, Leon Tyler, was born in 1853. Leon's son was born when he was 75. President Tyler's living grandson, Harrison Tyler, is 92. Leon's other son, Leon Jr., passed away in 2020 at the age of 95. Jesus, they all have like really good genes for their age. Number 5. The tallest man ever recorded was American giant Robert Wadlow, who stood 8 feet 11 inches. Wadlow's size was the result of abnormally enlarged pituitary glands. Number 6. The tallest living man is 37 years old, Sultan Kosin from Turkey, who is 8 feet 2.8 inches, who set the record in 2009. 7. The oldest person ever to have lived, whose age could be authenticated, a French woman named Jeanne Louise Calment, was 122 years old when she died in 1997. Sliced bread was first manufactured by machine and sold in the 1920s by the Chillicothe Baking Company in Missouri. It was the greatest thing since unsliced bread. 9. The Earl of Sandwich, John Montagu, who lived in the 1700s, reportedly invented the sandwich so he wouldn't have to leave his gambling table to eat. 10. The first college football game was played on November 6th, 1869, between Rutgers and Princeton. 11. Experiments in universities have actually been carried out to figure how many licks it takes to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop. what fish they eat. Their feathers are greyish white when they are born. 29. Mosquitoes are the deadliest animal in the world. They kill more people than any other creature due to the diseases they carry. 30. What do Miss Piggy and Yoda have in common? Shelley's first wife, Hadley, left a suitcase full of the author's writing on a train. When she went back to get it, it was gone. 51. The original title of Jane Austen's Pride and Prejudice was First Impressions. 52. Mary Shelley wrote Frankenstein when she was 18 during a ghost story competition while staying in Switzerland with the writers Percy Shelley, her lover, and Lord Byron. 53. German chocolate cake doesn't come from Germany. It was named for a person, Sam German, who created a type of baking chocolate for bakers in 1852. 54. Hawaiian pizza was created in Ontario, Canada by Greek immigrant Sam Panopoulos in 1962. 55. Almost all commercially grown artichokes, 99.9%, come from California. One town in particular, Castroville, is nicknamed the artichoke capital of the world. 56. The different colors of Fruit Loop cereals all taste the same. They're not individual flavors. 57. What's inside a Kit Kat? Broken Kit Kats that are damaged during production. They get ground up and go between the wafers inside, along with cocoa and sugar. I wonder how they would have made a Kit Kat if they didn't have Broke Monster in their first production. 58. Pound cake got its name because the original recipe required a pound each of butter, flour, sugar, and eggs. That's a lot of cake, but it was meant to last for a long time. 59. The difference 72. Our modern interpretation of Santa Claus with a red outfit and a white beard is due in large part to the holiday Coca-Cola ads that began in 1931. 73. Queen Victoria's husband, Prince Albert, wasn't the first to introduce Christmas trees to Britain from his native Germany. Queen Charlotte did that in the late 1700s, but Victoria and Albert are credited with popularizing the custom in the mid-1800s. 74. Buckingham Palace in London, England, has 775 rooms and 78 bathrooms. The White House in Washington, D.C. has 131 rooms and 35 bathrooms. It takes 570 gallons to paint the exterior of the White House. The teddy bear is named after President Theodore Roosevelt after he refused to shoot a captured black bear on a hunt. A stuffed animal maker decided to create a bear, and name it after the president. 78. Lincoln Logs were created by John Lloyd Wright, son of famous architect Frank Lloyd Wright in the 1920s. They were named after Abraham Lincoln, who grew up in a log cabin. 79. Play-Doh started out as wallpaper cleaner before the head of the struggling company realized the non-toxic material made a good modeling clay for children and rebranded it. 80. In the 1940s, a retired school teacher came up with Candyland to entertain children who were hospitalized from polio. Because its color system required no reading, young kids could play easily. 81. People started wearing pajamas, originally spelled pajamas, P-Y-J-A-M-A-S, instead of nightgowns, so they'd be prepared to run outside in public during the World War I raids in England. 82. At medieval times dinner attractions, you eat with your hands because people didn't use utensils in the Middle Ages. 83. Freelancers originally referred to self-employed, sword-wielding mercenaries, literally freelancers. 84. We shake hands to show we are unharmed. I'm sorry about the constant light change. I have my TV on and my Chromecast is connected to it, and obviously with the Chromecast it like constantly changes the picture, so my lighting is completely changing. I don't know if that's like something you guys prefer. If it is, let me know in the comments and I'll keep it that going. But if you prefer like proper as well about like how many times that like I look away from the camera or how many times this has cut because of my breathing. I currently have a lung infection. I know that's the worst time to start my channel. But I currently have a lung infection and I'm on antibiotics for it at the moment. It's not COVID, obviously. But yeah, I do have a lung infection and I've had it. The doctor said I had it for like 3 weeks. It was just an infection that I never got checked. Because I thought nothing was wrong with me. I thought I was fine. So yeah, I'm on antibiotics. So if the video is cutting a lot or I'm looking away from the camera or any of that stuff, that is the reason. And hopefully for my next video, my lung infection will be a hell of a lot better and I'll be able to breathe again. Okay, so we've got 3 left. So we're on number 97. This isn't exactly a fun fact, but there are over 200 dead bodies of climbers on Mount Everest because it is so difficult to bring them down. 98. Only 2 people have ever swum the entire length of the 2,350-mile Mississippi River. A Slovenian long-distance swimmer, Martin Strel, in 2002, and the American former Navy SEAL, Chris Ring, in 2015. 99. Visitors are not allowed to scatter loved ones' ashes at Disney World or Disneyland. This is apparently a problem, particularly around the Haunted Mansion attraction. Kinda sad. If I was to have my ashes spread anywhere, it would be in Disneyland. 100. The man who designed the Pringles can, Fred Bower, is buried in one, or at least some of his ashes are. And finally, 101. There's a world record holder for the most world records. Ashrita Furman, who set more than 600 records and currently holds more than 200. His records have ranged from the fastest mile on a pogo stick, longest time to hula hoop underwater. How is that possible? And the greatest distance travelled on a bicycle balancing a milk bottle on the head. Interesting. The hula hoop one. I'd love to know how he done that, but I don't know. Okay guys, that is it for my first video. I hope this was relaxing enough for you and I hope it helped you sleep. If there is any triggers that you guys like or want me to do, please let me know in the comments down below, or feel free to email me suggestions or whatever you think. I might also do a series. Of reading like 2 or 3 chapters from a book because they're one of my favorite triggers and I know a lot of people like them too, and there's very few of them online. So like I'll start